What's up, guys? It's Ryantium here, and today we are back in Skyrim. Now that's right, you guys, and oh snap, is it gonna be an awesome freaking day? So guys, welcome back, and happy Thursday. So out of all the mods you voted on from last week's episode, this is the one that won. But don't forget, down there in the comment section, vote 1, 2, or 3, or check out the poll in the top right hand corner to see which mod we're voting on for next week's episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So ALSTROEMELIA, I believe is how you would pronounce this sword's name, but that is the sword that's currently in my hands. Now this sword, I saw it on Bethesda.net, and it looks to be one of the types of swords where a lot of work was put into the texture work to make it as unique and as significant as possible. Now, I'm sure what a lot of you might be thinking, those of you that don't necessarily like weapons and are more in it for, the homes or the armors or anything like that, it just looks like a regular iron sword. And I'll give you that. The colors are not as ornate as you would think with a high texture sword. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the sword up against another material right here on the ground. And then we're also going to get just a little bit closer, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. And we can really start to see where the texture work and the high-resolution textures come to life. Now, if we notice, here at the pommel, it's a nice kind of polished metal as it moves up this leather handle with, the bluish kind of blackish leather and the nice gray metal accents and stuff. And then we have the nice T crossbar right here with the hilt. Looks really, really nice. But if you notice, the tang of the blades, we have the blade right here, but the tang, which is beneath or behind, the hilt that leads into the handle, which makes it one piece. It almost looks, I don't know, it's interesting. It looks really nice. I guess that's what I'm trying to get out of it. It looks really nice. I love the little kind of shape that you have beneath the hilt that kind of wraps around the back of the blade as well as the front, or around the crossguard. It looks really, really nice. And then the bevel of the blade is nice, nicely textured. But overall, a fairly simple blade. Now, where exactly can you get this weapon? Well, there's actually two of them. So you have the one-handed version, that is ALSTROEMELIA, which has a side scabbard or a sheath right there on your side, and you can kind of see that. In fact, let's see, can we get a little bit of a closer look? You can definitely see some work went into making a custom scabbard as well, and it sits in there quite nicely. Or you can also have the two-handed version, which is obviously the one that I prefer. A little bit of, oh, excuse me. But that's obviously the one that I prefer because I've been more so keen to two-handed weapons rather than one-handed weapons. Now, the nice thing about this weapon mod is the fact that you can enchant them. You can also temper them to make them better. But let's go ahead and take a look at how much this thing costs within the forge. That way you guys can weigh whether or not you think you want it. So it's down here in the steel smithing section, and there's three different things right here. So the base sword, for some reason, there's 4 different ways to make the sword, yet all of them seem to require different amount of materials. So this one we've got ALSTROEMELIA and a steel ingot, and then this one ALSTROEMELIA and a steel ingot. But these right here are just the regular swords. I'm not exactly sure why, but you make them within steel. They are a tad bit expensive, especially this one with 4 steel ingots and a corundum ingot. The leather and the leather strips are not too hard to come by, but the corundum ingot might be a little difficult to come by towards the beginning, unless you find one with luck from a merchant or anything like that. But the blade itself is perfect for those of us that don't necessarily want something super fantasy or super high class or anything of the sort. Here you can see that we can indeed temper them. They both have a base damage value of 14, which to me is a little bit peculiar because I feel the two-handed version should have at least double the one-handed version. So it's a little odd for it to have the same exact statistics, but I guess to each their own. Perhaps the mod author did not have that in mind. But I think one of the best ways this sword would shine through in your Skyrim playthrough is not only just because, it would be a cool sword to have just for a regular armor playthrough, but perhaps it could look good in an armory. I've known people and I've talked to people, and hell, I'm one of the people, who likes to collect swords. I like to collect homes and armors and everything like that. So for those of us that want something a little bit more normal, maybe to go with an outfit that's regular in Skyrim, a vanilla outfit, not a modded outfit. Perhaps you don't like the regular iron and steel swords and you want something just a little bit different. Or perhaps you're doing kind of a vanilla with sprinkles playthrough. I think this mod would do it justice to have just something a little bit different to look at each time you're swinging at each and every single one of your foes. So let me know down there in the comments, guys, what you would use this sword for. before. Let me know if you like it, let me know if you don't like it. Either way, I think it's kind of a nice mod to have in your load order, either for aesthetic or just because. So guys, I very much hope that you enjoyed today's little mod showcase, and I will see you in the next video.